Hello, everyone, and welcome to Theme Park Workshop, our little podcast here. We're on episode 31. 31, Halloween. Halfway to Halloween? Well, here to join me are my hosts, my co-hosts, as always, Bella Harvey.
Hello.
And Kelly Hoffman.
Hello, hello.
And in case you're wondering who I am, I'm Adam Johnson. It's great that you're here with us today. As I said earlier, it's halfway to Halloween. We're on episode 31, and we're also on season 4, the 4th season of this podcast. I never thought we'd make it this far, but here we are. That's not what Paul Rudd said, but, you know, this is the Theme Park Workshop version. Yeah, so it's a new season. What does that mean? It means we're kind of going in a different direction. Every season, we've done a different thing. Season 1, we were figuring ourselves out. What does that mean to be a Theme Park Workshop podcast? And then season 2, we had more reviews. We had more guests. And then season 3, we brought on Bella and Kelly, and we talked about a lot of horror and Halloween stuff. And in season 4, we're still going to have some of that stuff. We're still going to have Bella and Kelly. I'm very excited for that. I'll still be here, but we're going to try to broaden our scope a little bit. That's one of the things we're excited about. We're excited for some more evergreen content. What does that mean? It means you can listen to these shows any time of the year and it won't be dated. So that means more like attraction-specific episodes, more topic-specific episodes. I know you love the news. We love doing the news. It's fun to do. And we'll still have that. We'll just save that for the end of the show. So we'll start with a topic that is going to last. And then we'll go into the news, and we got a whole lot of ideas under our belts, and we're excited to share that with you. Also, we want to shout out the Patreon. Shout out to our patrons, Jordan Buster, Lana Kanoki, and Jonathan Edward. We appreciate you and your patronage, and we're so grateful and thankful. If you want to join our Patreon, you can join us at patreon.com/theme park workshop. Great tiers, bonus episodes, early releases, all that jazz. Go check it out. We also, if you're listening to us now, you might be listening to us on Spotify. If you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you check out the polls and questions down below on your app. I think also if you listen to Spotify on your computer, it should be there too. That's one way that you can engage with us. Same thing on YouTube, comment, share. But you can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I think most places you can hear podcasts. So go check us out, share us with your friends. Also want to make one more shout out before we get started with our halfway to Halloween episode, and that is Orlando Park Stop's Stop Hate fundraiser event. It's perfect timing because the day we're recording this is Transgender Day of Visibility. As you may be very aware, things aren't looking great for some of our LGBTQ plus friends as far as just people being really nasty and hostile towards our LGBTQ friends. And this fundraiser that Alicia Stella and the wonderful folks over at Orlando Park Stop, they're doing a fundraiser event for the Trevor Project to help LGBTQ plus youth survive and feel comfortable in themselves. It will fund 24/7 crisis counselors so they can thrive and they can speak to someone if they need it most. How can you get involved? You can just donate to the Trevor Project, but they're also doing an auction later this year, Orlando Park Stop is, where they'll be selling and auctioning off theme park memorabilia, theme park art. If you're really into the theme park space, this is a great way to show your support and help out the Trevor Project, especially in a time. I feel like this year they're going to need it more than most, which is unfortunate. But yeah, want to shout that out because Alicia is like the queen of rumors and queen of permits in this space. And she and her friends over there, they do a great job with this fundraiser. They raised $20,000, over $20,000 last year. It was a really cool event to see. So definitely stay tuned to that. You can find more information about that on orlandoparkstop.com/charity. But with all that out of the way, let's get started.
I get a grin again.
Film is a weapon.
Weapon.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
I will keep these lights up until the day I die. I think there's a chance that Will's still out there.
The caretaker is evil and It's alive!
Yeah.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
Everybody scream.
But as Kelly was telling us in our group chat, and it's very true, we're halfway to Halloween. So for those of you who are like Christmas in July folks, this is the Halloween version. It's very, very fun. Kelly, Bella, how are y'all celebrating your halfway to Halloween this year?
Ooh, a couple of ways. So I am finally watching the Scream sequels, which is super exciting.
Yes.
I have only the first one, the original Scream, is like one of my favorite movies ever. Not even just horror movies, just movies. But finally I'm watching the sequels. I've already watched 2 and 3 now, and then next week I'll be watching 4 and 5 and finally 6 in the theaters. So I'm super excited for that. And then I also really want to read a book, which I know that Adam also just recently rented and will probably be reading. But it's called It Came from the Closet, and it is a collection of essays that are queer reflections on horror, but it's edited by Joe Velez, so that'll be listed as the author on Goodreads or Amazon or whatever you use to look at books. But I'm super excited to read that. So horror movies and horror books are 2 of my favorite things. And then I will be going to the parks as well during that time. And of course, I'm going to ride Tower of Terror and Haunted Mansion, which are 2 of my favorite rides. So just getting in the Halloween spirit, and halfway is not close enough. I'm ready for it to be here.
Yes, totally. I am, the day we're recording this, I'm currently wearing my Pumpkin Lord scares around every, what is it, corner? Turn. I'm wearing that shirt, and I have my Ghostface background on for Zoom. I was honestly thinking about watching the first Scream tonight.
Do it.
I love Scream is my second favorite movie of all time on my Letterboxd. The first one is Princess Diaries 2.
Naturally.
So yeah, I am so excited that you're watching the movies finally, and we can like actually talk about it now and not be like hush hush about it. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
No, literally before this episode, we were waiting. Bella and I got in here a little bit early, and we started talking about Scream, and then Scream 6. And then Kelly came in, and we didn't let her in for like 2 minutes because we were still talking about Scream 6.
I was wondering why I wasn't being let in. I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Are they kicking me out of the podcast?
I didn't even know you were in like the waiting room or anything, because we just like kind of went on a tangent about Scream 6 since we hadn't talked about it. But so now, I mean, you're about to watch 4, which is my, well, because Scream 6 it goes 1, 6, 4 now for me.
Ooh.
But 1 and 6 are tied.
Whoa, 164?
Yeah.
Dang, girl.
Wow.
And so
are you still 146? Well, I don't know.
I'm still
if it's
146.
146. Okay.
146, 235.
Dang, you didn't like 5?
I like 5. I think I kind of have grown into the dorkiness of 3.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
3 is super dorky. It's
so
fun.
silly.
I think,
but I feel like 5 lacks that dork factor.
What is my ranking? Let me look.
I think I'm probably 1, 2, 3, but I've only seen 3, obviously. So I don't know if it's 1, 3, 2 or 1, 2, 3, but 1 is the best. Also, I should mention while she's looking that up that we do all have horror backgrounds right now. We've got Boris Schuster Private Investigations for Adam, and then I have one of the scenes from Slaughter Cinema, I don't even know what this area was called. I can't remember. The like lab area.
I thought it was like a cute little cafe until Adam said, "Oh, those are dead bodies." And I was like, "Oh."
I think it's the Midnight Snack 2, I think is what this section was, but it was one of the ones I found on Google, and it was very nice looking.
I found my
creepy way.
I like the colors.
I found my ranking.
Okay.
The official Scream ranking for Bella Harvey is 1 and 6 are tied.
Whoa. Okay.
That's crazy. I know.
I mean, it's really good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And then I have 4, 5, 2, 3.
Yeah, 5 will divide a Scream fan.
Because I liked the killers in Scream 5, and I know that is unpopular for the killers. Killers? Oh, we don't know. You don't know.
I think it's fair in a Scream movie to assume there are multiple killers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the killers.
Otherwise, you're left with the dork.
Yeah.
True. That is true.
Most people don't like them.
Yeah. I'm
But
mixed.
I did.
Yeah.
A lot. It is good. It's good. It's great. It's great. It's
So
great.
it goes without saying that we would all love to have Scream at a Halloween Horror Nights event. We've talked about this before, and we know that there's a lot of stuff going on with that, and that has gone on with that, and I hope that it happens at some point. But one thing we want to talk about in this episode for our evergreen content of the day is what is a dream IP that we'd like to see at the event and why. And I'm gonna let Bella kick it off because I know she's got some good ideas over there.
I do. I've been scheming. So we all just assume that I'm gonna say Scream or It, right? No, wrong. I'm not gonna say either of those because we already know that. Stop acting surprised. Stop acting surprised. We already know how bad I want the two of those and could see them soon. Because I 100% think It is happening this year. I don't care if I'm delusional. It's gonna happen.
I would never leave that house, so they better hope
I
they
feel
don't do
like
that.
If the day they get Scream rights and It rights, I really hope they don't put them in the same year for my stability, because I will only be at those two houses. I will not see anything else of the event.
But Jack is going to get jealous. There can't be that many clowns.
That's true.
But what if
Jack versus Pennywise?
I'd pay good money for that.
I would pay really good money for that. That'd
I
be
hope
really
James Keaton
funny.
gets a great big check out of that.
Yeah,
That would be
I think that'd be
crazy.
fun.
Yeah,
I don't
anyway.
know, but if Scream comes solo, I'm gonna move in. You're gonna have to drag me out of there the last night of the event. It'll be bad. I'll be there every day, and I'm not joking. I will be. But my idea, I came up with this the other night. I have an idea, and I have it written down in front of me, of a Don't Worry, Darling Horror Nights house. Okay, you're gonna have to hear me out though.
I'm all for it.
I know it sounds a little weird, and I know it'll never, ever, ever, ever happen, but I'm dreaming and I'm delusional. So basically, you'd enter to the house. You guys have seen it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You've seen it too? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you enter through the house. You know that portal thing that she touches, like kind of towards the beginning after she runs up the mountain, and she touches it and everything goes red, and she's like, ugh!
Mhm.
And then so you enter the house through the portal. Like that's the entrance, and there's red lights, and it's the part of the score that's like, you get it. If you know,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So that's what's happening there. And then definitely like included in the house would be when Margaret falls off the roof and kills herself, or when she's smashing her head into the mirror. I feel like that would definitely be in there, with like little flashes of Alice and Jack in the goggles, kind of like how the bent neck lady was like kind of randomly throughout the house.
Oh yeah.
You could have Alice and Jack with the goggles. Yeah. There could be an effect where like the walls are closing in, kind of like how the windows were, and just like the score being pumped throughout the whole house, what I think would be really cool. And like we have like the gala room, kind of like how in Case Files there was the live singer. Have someone doing Jack's little spins on the stage.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it could go in the Shrek one. I see it.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it'd be good. That's all I remembered, but I don't know. I think it could be a good house. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be a fan favorite.
I think that would be cool.
What are your guys's?
Adam, do you want to go next?
Oh, sure. Bella, I didn't love the movie, but I think that is a really interesting concept, the way you're putting it. Using some of the old tricks, and I think it could tell a compelling story. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
I just want to put that out there. That way it wasn't just like Bella threw Don't Worry, Darling out into the world and okay, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Everyone was too stunned by the amazing, incredible, and awesome and not delusional idea.
Listen, I'm all for it. I think it would be neat and I think it would be a very trippy house as well. Like I think it'd be fun.
It'd be something different. Like we haven't really seen anything like that to my knowledge. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And Harry Styles in a Horror Nights house and Chris Pine. That's my dream. I'd move in. I'd move to Victory. I would move to Victory regardless, but we don't need to talk about that.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I think my dream house would be, so I know, like, obviously, like, I want to see some more legendary truth happen at the event. I came in late. I came in by the time Boris got his own house, which was fantastic. But I missed out on the Bloody Mary year. But we're talking about like dream IPs and stuff. And so, would it be like another Monsters house? Would it be like a Universal movie that I think could exist? I don't think this house will ever exist, but I think that it should. Because it's based on one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I think I mentioned it back in episode 4, which you can go back and listen to if you want to. But it's Suspiria. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Suspiria, but it's this 1977 Giallo film. And Giallo means Italian slasher, which means it's a beautiful, beautiful slasher. One of the things that we love most about Halloween Horror Nights is the production design. And this movie has this beautiful production design, beautiful colors, all the blues, all the reds, all the pinks, and the score is fantastic. That's another great thing about the houses. Like, I can just imagine you like walking into this ballet school of the damned, and it's like, and you hear that throughout the house, and then like as you go through it, like really kicks in, and then you throughout the entire house, or in the score rather, you hear just every now and then this whisper, just like witch, because in Suspiria it's a ballet school run by witches. It is so not like Spirits of the Coven witches. I mean, like, kind of, because these witches, they teach ballet, but they're also like very they're evil. They want to kill things. They want to destroy things, especially if they don't like it. Dogs go crazy and eat their owner's throats out, and someone decides to leave the school, and so they get murdered by some unseen force. And it's a beautiful murder with hanging and glass shards and all the blood, because it's Italian. It's very colored brightly, and then there's so much lore, and because it's actually part of a series of movies called the Three Mothers trilogy. I haven't seen the final part because I heard it's not very good, but there's that lore in it, and so you could hint at the different mothers, the Mother Suspiria, and all of these other witch mothers, and maybe they can come in at the end. I know Inferno has like this one witch reveal herself as like Death herself, and it's very scary. It's very cool. But I mean, with the production design, all the different kills in that movie, these wonderful hallways, I couldn't imagine it not being a great house as you go deeper and deeper into this world of these witches and these terrible deaths. And then it ends with fire. All these movies end with fire. Everything goes into flames. And so that could be a very cool effect. I think it's one of the, I don't know where we see the influence of this movie, but it is one of the great horror movies, with one of the great scores and everything. So I would love if Universal I don't know if it would sell tickets, but I can't imagine it not being a fan favorite. And listen, I like Spirits of the Coven, but this could be Spirits of the Coven, like, if it was great. I think it would be like what people wanted out of Spirits of the Coven. If you've not seen this movie, okay, I'm sure many people have not seen this movie if you're a horror fan, because it's Italian. It's from the 70s, but go check this out. I'm pretty sure it's streaming free on Tubi, so you'll have ads, but you can watch it free that way. But the Blu-ray is also fantastic, and it's like $20-30. It's worth it. Buy it blind. It's so good, and it's Italian. I don't know if I mentioned that. They speak English though, so you'll understand.
Is it Italian?
It is.
Wait, but hold on. Is it Italian? Because I didn't think Italian people were real.
Well, they are neo-real. There's Italian neo-realism, but yes, this is Italian.
Interesting. Are they like, Mamma Mia, my spirit is gone? Oh no, Ghostface is gonna kill me.
No, actually, fun fact: they speak their home language, whatever language they speak. That's how they performed, and so they dubbed in the English. And sometimes the flaps don't match, but it's part of the charm. But then you've got like American actresses in this too, and they're like acting, but they still had to dub their lines because everyone else was, and you can't feel special.
That's so camp.
It's so beautiful. It's so good. It's so good.
That's going on the list.
Yes, we can have a movie night.
I was about to say, can we please have a podcast movie night? Tilda Swinton?
Oh, so that's the 2018 remake.
Oh, they remade it
with Miss Ellen. That's not
Mia
the truth.
Goth,
Dakota Johnson.
and Chloe Grace Moretz. Wow. Okay. Well, now I need to watch both of them. Obviously the original first, but that sounds amazing. And I think based on pictures that they should do it. But I definitely need to watch it. But it looks like it would be a very visually pleasing house. Like, I think it would be really pretty.
Yeah. But what's your house? What's your dream IP? I guess it doesn't have to be a house, but if it is a house, what it be?
Well, it is. And it is a very easy IP for them to obtain, in that I'm pretty sure they own all the rights to it still. And they have done an attraction with this IP, but never a house. I think there should be a Jaws house. I think it would be neat.
That is not what I thought you were gonna say.
What did you
That's
think I was gonna
good.
say?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, I think
I
that
thought
would
you
be
were
cool
going to say
too, but
Psycho.
Oh, that too.
also would be good, especially because it's like black and white. I think it'd be kind of cool if they tried to keep it where it looks kind of black and white with like lighting effects and stuff and
They've
like
been doing
makeup.
the 70s houses lately. Like, that would be good. Not to derail your
Yeah.
entire Jaws thing.
No, I would listen, I love that movie. It was one of the first horror movies I've ever saw. But I think a Jaws house would be really cool. I think that it would be like gruesome and the puppets would be really cool. And they have done like underwater houses before that have been very well received, most of them. And like, I think there could be a really cool scare where there's like Jaws comes out of like the ceiling or like somewhere higher up, because I feel like those high up scares like make people like just fall to the floor. Like, I feel like that can be very effective. Where it looks like maybe we're like under the water and he like comes down at us or something. I think that some of the scenes, sort of like on the ride where at the end he was like just disgustingly mangled, like that would look really cool. And it could kind of just like the ride evolve as the house goes on, where like you see him in the beginning, like maybe, you know, as you're walking in, there's like water projected on the walls and it's dark and nighttime, and you see like either an actress where it's somewhere up high, like kind of how they did the violin in, what was the name of the house from last year?
Deadman's Pier. Winter's
Thank you.
Wake.
Yeah, something like that, where it's like it is
The
an
one
actress.
that Adam didn't like.
Rude.
I liked it.
It was at the bottom of your ranking.
It was halfway there.
It
Anyway,
wasn't
sorry,
number
Kelly.
one.
Sorry for interrupting. Continue.
I feel like they could do something like that where she's on like a surfboard or something like up high, but then like, I don't know where we would do it, where maybe when we go in the house, we see that she's murdered brutally, like either through screens or acting. But I think they could do a lot of stuff between screens and puppets. And I think those like shark puppets would be very scary and fun. And they probably still have some of them from the ride. I mean, they're probably in a warehouse somewhere. So, and like Quint's death scene. Oh, sorry if you haven't seen this movie, it's really old. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it could be very effective. And I think underwater houses in general are like really cool. So I think it could be bloody and gory, but also like campy and fun. And I hope that they do it, because they definitely can. And they should.
I think it'd be a good use of old ride props. I think it'd be, oh my God, the puppets, just like thinking of the puppets and like the cool effects they could do, and like use screens, the
And
score,
the music. Yes.
the score. It could smell like salt air and the rust on your door. You'd never need anything more. You know.
Taylor Swift is performing right now as we record. Well, she's not actually.
No, the first opener's still on, but Kelly and I see her 2 weeks from today.
Woo!
Actually, then we won't hear the surprise song while we're recording. That's probably for the best.
It depends on how long this episode goes.
I was going to say,
That's
hopefully
true.
not for y'all's sake. Unless you like listening to us talk, that's cool.
Yeah, but I think it's a really cool idea, and I could see it going in so many different directions. It'd also be cool to put it back kind of by where the ride was, like put it in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Be like,
Yeah.
guess what's back, but only for 2 months and not on Mondays.
That would definitely be a fan favorite, the same way Beetlejuice was, because Beetlejuice had a show, and then they got rid of the show for Fast and Furious. But he was also
Makes
one of
me
the first
sad.
icons. And I think Jaws also, there's some fun history there because the very first house was in the Jaws queue because Jaws wouldn't work. And they said, we need people to come to this park and we need to make use of the space that we paid millions of dollars for. So they said, let's throw a Dungeon of Terror in there. That'll be the only haunted house of the event for year one. And so they kept on using Jaws queue as a house. And I'm pretty sure in HHN 19, one of the characters is actually canon to the Jaws universe. Like one of the Amity Boat Tours skippers was like a drunk guy who was related to Legendary Truth and stuff. And so I think it was like Captain Drunk Belly or something weird. I can't find it. But yeah, so there's a way you can make it work within the Horror Nights universe, or you can just make it the movie, and I think it'd be just as cool. And kind of like what you were saying, you could see like the living characters like up top swimming, and you're down there with Bruce and all of that, and all the Quint death. Like I think you've landed on some gold. Universal, if you're listening.
If you're listening, do all 3 of these for HHN 33 next year.
Yes. Yeah, or 32. Finish course really fast.
Yes.
I had an idea for that. Like we all remember Voyage of the Little Mermaid. But you know that effect they do to make it look like how you're underwater with like the lasers? That, but like obviously updated
And
in the house.
fog. Oh, I forgot to mention
fog
this.
And water drops. Yeah. It'll work.
I forgot to mention the scene from the ride where you're in the boathouse used to scare me so much. And I feel like something like that could be so effective. And even like we've seen that they can do effects with the floor where it's either like slanted or moving. I think that would be kind of cool where it feels like you're in like a shaky boathouse, or like kind of like in Winter's Wake. I blanked again. This was my favorite house last year, by the way. Like how it just looks like you're in like a boathouse. Like they're clearly showing that they could do that. That house was gorgeous. They could easily do this, and that scene would be so creepy because it would be so dark in there, and maybe you have like a flashlight like spinning around or something like randomly, and you like see like a hint of like an animatronic in the corner. I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but that would be the best part of the house, probably. I think it'd be neat.
Crowd tweets House of the Year. House of the Year.
House of the Year. Okay,
Jaws,
so
sorry.
no, yes, I would die for this house. So we are going to move into some really quick news about HHN 32. We don't have a ton of news yet, but we have a couple of updates. And then we're also going to talk about speculation for this season. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys.
I'm pumped, bro.
So excited.
I'm living.
Give me the frequent fear, but you're not until like August, because that's what always happens. But we'll do it. Will they do it? I don't know.
People every year on the Facebook page, they're like, the tickets came out the other day. They're like, when is Frequent Fear coming out? This is my 32nd year at Horror Nights, and it's only been around 31 years. Where do I get my Frequent Fear? You know it comes out in like August, like 2 weeks before. Like, you know.
Don't even look at the comments on Instagram every day. They're commenting on the Horror Nights Instagram. Where's my Frequent Fear? I'm like, it's gonna be here.
You don't need your Frequent Fear in March.
Every
it's
year
not gonna do anything.
Every year somebody's like, they're not gonna do it this year.
No, literally.
Now I don't know if I'll afford it in August.
Why wouldn't they do it? Why do people think every year that they're not?
They're gonna do it.
They up the dates. I don't know.
No Mondays.
No Mondays, which is interesting. I only go on Fridays and Saturdays anyway, unfortunately, but corporate jobs. So I am very excited that I can go alone though this year, because the last 2 years they've been yelling at me not to go alone. And now it's just see you in the fog. So I'm allowed to go alone.
Standing there menacingly in the fog, like the hash slinging slasher.
The trash pinging.
The smash swinging. That's a Horror Nights house.
Hash slinging slasher house confirmed for HHN 32.
Nosferatu's in it.
Ew, I hate him.
I can't see.
Nosferatu.
Harry Styles is gonna be in that movie they're doing about him.
Oh yeah, the Robert Eggers one. Yeah.
Yeah, he was gonna be like a vampire or something. Not that guy, but like there's like another one. But he got replaced.
Dang.
But I think Pennywise.
Some attractive young fellow.
Someone.
Somebody.
But
yeah, there's See You in the Fog merch that's being sold, official artwork, which is exciting. And then we do have one house confirmed, right? Just one? Okay.
Yeah.
So Chucky is confirmed, which I'm stoked about. If you have not watched this Chucky series and you have any interest in Chucky at all or even horror, you should watch it. It's great. There is a lot of Chucky lore, so you should definitely watch the other movies first, which surprisingly I have. I always say that I'm bad at watching horror movie sequels. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of the Chucky movies. I don't know. I started watching them too young because I was like, it's a doll. And then I was like, oh. So thanks, internet, and whatever I found movies streaming on when I was like 14 or whatever. But anyway, so watch the series. It's fantastic. What are y'all's thoughts on Chucky being here?
As we were saying earlier, when it was first announced, it was announced like right before the event ended, actually. 31 ended. It totally makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier, but I am doing all the Chucky lore catch up. I'm on Seed of Chucky right now. Unfortunately, after Horror Nights ended, they took all the movies off streaming. But the show's still streaming, but I don't want to start the show until I finish the movies. So I'm at the part where Chucky's having a kid. I love this lore.
That is a big part of the show as well. So definitely watch that.
But and I know some of like the kills that happen in some of the later sequels, and some of those look pretty gnarly and cool. But the show, I've been interested in watching the show since it got some great reviews. And then all the Chucky fans, I think it made new Chucky fans. So I'm excited to get to it to the point where I'm like, do I just like rent the movie, like the last 3 movies, forget like Peacock and all of that? But I feel like as soon as I do that, they'll start streaming again. And then, I could have not paid extra money. But I am excited to see the house come back. I think we said earlier that it's his first house in Florida, even though he's had zones and stuff. So that's exciting. So I'm digging.
Okay. I've never seen Chucky because I've always been scared of him. Like, really scared of him. And I literally, the night before they announced the Chucky house, I was at Horror Nights with my friend, and we walked by the Chucky photo op, and I was like, I just want to punt that doll as far as I can. And then they announced the Chucky house. So, I don't know. I need to watch them. I think I'm going to start watching the movies when it gets, like, a little bit closer, just because I'll forget it. If I watch them now, I won't remember anything. I'm excited to watch the show, though. Because like you said, Adam, all I've heard are amazing things, and it needs to be a good house. It has to be impressive to me. Because I feel like I really liked the zone we had a couple years ago. I mean, I didn't go, but I saw videos of it. And it looked cool. Like, I liked how like Chucky was like talking to you and like responding to you. But I just need something like, I don't know. I really want to try and like Chucky before Horror Nights. So I'm not like, oh, it's a popular house and I don't like it. Like, I want to like it. We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about Horror Nights, though, is that it does introduce these IPs, and then it can make you fans of these IPs. Like, I was brought into it by the Universal Monsters. I was already a Monsters fan, so that's how I got into Horror Nights. It's because they were doing the Monsters House in 19. But, like, that's why I watched Killer Clowns, because I didn't want to be left in the dust when that came out, or when we did that house, or us if we did that house, which I ended up not doing, but I still love the movie. It's a great horror movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love it. Watch that for Halfway to Halloween if you're listening to this around that time, or just watch it any time of the year.
I've never seen it.
It's camp.
I've only seen Get Out, and nope, I haven't seen Us.
I don't know if I'd say
watch it though.
I meant Killer Clowns.
Oh, Killer Clowns. I thought we were talking about
I'm
Us.
sorry.
I haven't seen Killer Clowns, so
I meant Killer Clowns is camp and amazing. Us is also amazing, of course. It's Jordan Peele, but no, I thought we were still talking about Killer Clowns. Great movie. It's camp.
Yeah. No, Bella, you'd love Killer Clowns.
I know I
So
would.
fun.
I know I would. But
That's a great house too.
I know I'm gonna love it, and then I'm gonna be really mad I didn't go that year so I could do it. The 2 years in a row it was at Horror Nights Orlando,
and it was great both years.
I
Scare
know.
Zone and House. Same with Trick or Treat. Have you seen Trick or Treat?
Yes. Don't remind me of I was so upset once I watched Trick or Treat. I was like, I missed this. I missed
twice.
this house.
The
twice.
house was better, but yeah.
The house was better.
So good.
From video. I was like, I had to, but the pumpkins and the trees. Ugh, I loved Trick or Treat though. Sam is just a little boy. He's just a baby.
Yeah, it's great. So we did have the announcement of 10 houses and 5 zones. So standard. I know there were a lot of people speculating if there were going to be 11 houses. It is just 10 houses, which I figured, but it would have been cool to have another house. I would have never been disappointed by more horror nights. So
Very true.
As far as shows, so we have Nightmare Fuel confirmed, yes?
So they had a picture of Nightmare Fuel on the website.
Okay. So I guess not confirmed, but
yeah, but they'll probably use the Fear
probably.
Factor stage again. They'll have a show in that vein, probably. Same way, like I don't think we always knew there was going to be a Bill and Ted, but we kind of figured there would be a Bill and Ted, and then we've just figured there'd be an Academy of Villains once the first show was liked. So I think it's kind of like that. It'll probably be Nightmare Fuel. Everyone likes it, but the Lagoon wasn't featured and they didn't say how many shows. I didn't think in the past they've said we got 2 outrageous shows, but they're just saying we've got entertainment. And they didn't feature the Lagoon show, which interestingly ties into the fact that the Lagoon show, the Cinematic Celebration, is gone, just without a trace. So I wonder if they're only having the one show. And I've got thoughts about that. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't like that. I wish they would do 2 shows. And
yeah,
I'm not normal. So this is an unpopular opinion, I think. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't usually stop and watch the Lagoon shows. I'm not usually a huge fan of them. I don't love getting wet. And I always feel like I'm getting wet if I stand too close. I don't know. But they've just I've never stopped to watch them. Like I like watching the shows that are in the Fear Factor stage because I can like go sit down and it's like really like energetic and like there's like live people and everything like that. So I've never really watched the Lagoon shows. I've heard very good things, especially about I don't remember if it was 18 or 19. I know they were both well received, but one of them more than the other. Yeah. So I haven't really watched those shows, but I do wish they would have 2 forms of entertainment. Like same with I didn't really watch They Who Shall Not Be Named when it was in the in that area, like in the middle of the scare zones there.
Yeah,
so
that was by Mel's, I think, the Mel's stage.
Yes, by Mel's. So I never watched that, but I like when there's multiple forms of entertainment, even partially because it keeps people out of lines too, food and house lines. Like that's one of the big things about shows is that they keep people doing something else, which is always a good thing. So
yeah, and
it's gonna be weird.
I know we've talked about this in episodes prior, but we said that they probably need to start upping it to 3 shows. Just because of capacity. But like the fact that they're only advertising 1 show kind of makes me nervous. Because the Lagoon show, it did suck up a good crowd, which was shocking. But I don't know, I feel like it'd be smart to have the Lagoon show, whatever version of Nightmare Fuel, just assuming, and then a little show by Mel's or something. Or like, well, I don't even know where they could put another one. Another like small pop-up show.
Yeah.
Like maybe like put an icon on a little stage and have them kill someone, like something just to like help crowds, because houses last year were outrageous. And with 2 shows, and it was even during like not busy nights.
Yeah.
The lines were still getting pretty long. And if we get like The Last of Us this year, like it's speculated, or there's been really strong rumors about it, which I love, but those lines are going to be ridiculous, and they're gonna need something to counteract the crowds.
That's kind of like they've done stuff in scare zones. I feel like that have done that, like when they did in 2018 when they had the Chucky scare zone. I mean, I can't remember if it was 18 or 19. Those 2 years blend together for me because they're my favorite 2 years, probably 18. Thank you, Adam. But that, like, I feel like I hate using the words it ate a lot of people, but like I don't know, like a lot of people are like there instead of in lines.
It's a Halloween event. They can eat people.
Yeah, they're eating people. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that again, especially if they're doing a Chucky house. But they had like Chucky on stage in that scare zone talking to people, and like it was like a show, and people would wait and watch it. And it wasn't like a huge area, so it's not like it was like hundreds of people or anything like it can be for like a sit down show or even the Lagoon show. But it just stuff like that, I don't know, I feel like those kind of like shows and experiences are really good to keep people out of lines. So when you have interactive scare zones, or like the vampire 80 Vamp 85, they had a like a stage show kind of thing there that a lot of people would watch. So something like that I think would be good if they're not going to do 2 shows, but honestly I think they should do 3 shows. And that, like, I think they really need some major entertainment going on to keep people from just going in the lines over and over again.
I agree with y'all, because I know we've had different issues with the way last year functioned, not even just with what was provided, like the entertainment and the scare zones and the houses, but just like the way the whole event worked. I know we had different issues with it. I think my biggest issue in retrospect was it was just not fun to wait for the houses last year. And that's because we lost a whole show. We lost the Lagoon show because of the hurricane. We lost Ghoulish. And I was mixed on Ghoulish. I don't know if I would have seen it again. Probably if like the houses got busy, I'd be like, I'll go watch Ghoulish. But when it was just Nightmare Fuel, which is already a show that always hits capacity, everyone was just at houses. And it was kind of miserable. If you weren't there for Stay and Scream and you weren't there until the end of the night. So like I'm also with y'all about the we need multiple shows. And I mean, even there's always like the I feel like there's always a stage element with the New York zone. Like Zombieland had the zombie kill of the week every 5 minutes. And then last year we had the Conjure the Dark that had a continuous show going. That's just a very cramped space. Wasn't probably the best use of space for the problem that was there. But at the same time, you don't want every zone to have a show, because then they all feel the same. And that's one of the things we love about the zones is they all feel different and they scare and they entertain in different ways. But yeah, like bring back the Mel stage, use animal actors for once. Like animal actors are just not used.
That's a great point. Like, why aren't we using that? Yeah.
Beetlejuice had a show there back in the day. They had magic shows up until like the Usher year. So I don't know why they don't use it anymore.
Beetlejuice shows. If they did a Beetlejuice show, you would never see me ever again.
It would sell tickets so well. I think sales would go immediately, especially Frequent Fear in August. It would drive them up, and I think that would be a really good crowd eater. Even if they had Nightmare Fuel in a Beetlejuice show, that would be it.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't need a third.
So good. Yeah, no, that's true.
You wouldn't need a third show to kill crowds. Like that would, like the Beetlejuice show and Nightmare Fuel running opposite each other would do exactly that.
Yeah.
Or even have them at the same times. Like,
I'd
kill it.
Running back and forth. When you said the August thing, I thought Killer Bells just now. I was like, Killer Bells.
That's
but I mean, I could also see them using Blue Man Group. I don't know. I know they queued Hell Block down that area last year, but I feel like there's still other space to queue. But that's gonna be a weird thing too with the queuing. But regardless of that, I don't know how long it needs to take to set up for Grinchmas. I know it's a quick turnaround, but is it that quick? I don't know. But yeah, as you're saying, like the pop-up shows and whatnot, we'll see. I hope when they say we just have entertainment, I mean, they're not saying those words verbatim, but when you look at the words, they're not saying shows, they're saying entertainment, which is a collective noun. I hope it means they haven't quite landed on how many shows they will do, as opposed to, we're just doing Nightmare Fuel. Good luck, folks. And if Nightmare Fuel is just the same show it's been the past 2 years and they don't change it up at all, might as well call it a wash and get your express tickets now.
That's for sure. Yeah.
We'll definitely need an express ticket then.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I want one, but money.
They're so expensive. It's crazy.
I'm sure it'll be more, but I know 2 years ago, so it'll definitely be more. I did a Rush of Fear with Express, which honestly, if you're available in September, I recommend that versus a Frequent Fear. Because if you're going to tack on Express, obviously it's cheaper to do it for 1 month versus 2. But it was like $900 for 1 month with Express, and I made use of it. But I'm sure it's going to be over $1,000 this year, so I'm going to try. But I ain't rich, so we'll see how that goes.
You want to join our Patreon? No, I'm kidding.
If you want to fund
Oh my
us,
God.
Express, please.
Sponsor us for Horror Nights.
So many bonus episodes will be coming out of that once we have time to slow down and not go through houses. No, I'm kidding.
Tell all 1 million of your closest friends so that we get enough.
Every single person you've ever met. Every single person you've ever met in your entire life up until now has to know about our Patreon.
So much like Theme Park Workshop, they must have followed in our footsteps. Halloween Horror Nights has a TikTok now, which we do have a video up now, folks. Theme Park Workshop, follow us. I don't remember if I've posted 1 or 2, but there will be more, okay? I'm working on it. But anyway, so they have a TikTok now, and they have kind of been posting some cryptic stuff on there that's been adding to a lot of speculation. Have you guys seen what's going on over there?
Welcome to my new playground.
That's what it said.
That is what it said.
Spooky.
I think that it is Scream 6 because New York was his new playground. Obviously, that is a terrible connection, but I don't care. I'm delusional. Delusional.
You are delusional, but I love you for it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. It'd be really cool.
I know. But realistically, everyone was like, oh my God, it's Cindy Kane. And I'm like, work. But then people are like, guys, it's just because he's joining TikTok.
That could also be true. But Cindy Kane would be pretty cool. I mean, I think we've talked about in a previous episode that that would be like, that was something that was going to happen and didn't really happen. So it'd be cool to see that pan out. Honestly, anything with icons, I'm all for. So
it would kind of work with Chucky and Megan.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
So I think that could be a good combo, and maybe we'll see a little appearance of the caretaker, because you know that's his daughter.
The caretaker is here,
and your
that'd
cool. Has come. It's funny. I think it's funny that y'all thought Cindy Kane and y'all thought Scream. I was thinking Chance because of Lunatic's Playground 3D.
I thought that too. Okay, I
Okay.
thought that too. I did. But I was like, I don't know, because I've been in Lunatic's Playground 3D, which was a house. It was all right. It was fine. But I do love Chance though, and any Chance representation we can get in Horror Nights, like Jack is amazing and the boy, but like I love Chance, so I would love another Chance year. I know they just did one in, was it 2015? I mean, it was
2016. It was year 2016. 2015 was Jack's like 5th big year.
That's right. I went to that one as well. But you're right, 2026. So it would be cool. I know it wasn't that long ago, but that's, it's been a while. So I would be down for that. But I did think Lunatic's Playground as well. I didn't know if that was kind of a stretch, but cool.
I mean, some say that it's just Chad the demon, the socials demon. So, which, yeah, that makes sense. But the thing that makes me wonder, like, is it Chad? Is it Chance? Is it an icon we know? Is that the other tease was the legend is real. So they threw up all these cryptic signs, and then it was the legend is real. And we got it was the same day we got all the merch and the designs and the posters with like John Carpenter's The Fog looking things and People Under the Stairs looking things. Shout out to the first IP house, the People Under the Stairs. And I'm like, oh, but could this be, as you're saying, like, is this an icon? Is it legendary truth? Is it a new icon? Is it an old icon? Is it just like, what was it? Evil grows here. What evil grows from these roots or whatever that year was. Could it just be like something generic like that? It's like, oh, cool, everything's under this umbrella. I don't know. And that's kind of the fun part. What do y'all think?
I think Legendary Truth is a really good guess. I didn't even think of that.
I would love that.
I didn't even think of that. I think that'd be really cool to see them back. Because, I mean, I only went through that house a couple times, but it was really cool.
Especially, like, I did a lot of research on the stuff they did when they did the original house, where they did all that, like, those, like, private tours and stuff that they did with people. I don't remember what it was called, but the people who, like, played on the website, and they, really, like, went all out with it. I was like, that'd be so cool if they did something. They always like to do something on the app, but it's usually, like, trivia and I don't know that it's super, like, I don't think a lot of people use it, but I feel like if they did something like Legendary Truth, at least the people that are huge Horror Nights fans would definitely like go on the app, or if they made a new app or something. I mean, I think it would be really cool to like use technology to their advantage, since that's definitely the way that theme parks are going, so that we could do some Legendary Truth stuff ourselves and do some sleuthing. And I don't know, I just think it'd be a fun way to make the parks more interactive during Horror Nights. So I am all for it. I don't think NFTs are the way to go to make things more interactive.
That was so dumb.
What was that?
So dumb.
That was
Get a free prize if you scan all the stanchions.
something
Terrible.
But anyway, yeah,
Terrible.
I hope that it's Legendary Truth. I also didn't put that together, but I think that'd be cool. I have a Boris Schuster hat, so I can wear it.
Yeah. I got Boris.
How
Schuster
about
hat, got a poster,
Legendary?
Got an album.
Oh yeah, you got the album.
You do?
I've been listening to it. I don't have a vinyl player.
You don't?
Funny.
Not this time, no.
I just assumed you did.
Well, my brother had one. I was going to steal his and listen to it. I just never sat down and did. I need to.
Well, yeah, you must. You have to.
You must
Make that $60 worth it.
Yeah, yeah. What if it's Boris Schuster, Legendary Truth, unveils the secret slays of Ghostface and Pennywise and their joint slay? They're gonna maximize.
And Megan.
And Megan, they're gonna maximize their quadruple slay. If Megan doesn't dance in the Megan house, that
Insert Megan dance here.
I 100% think we're getting Megan this year.
Well,
for a
Megan
Blumhouse
was more or
house.
less. Yeah.
I 100% think it's gonna happen, and if she doesn't dance, I want it back. I don't want it. Take it back. She must dance.
Worst Blumhouse house if she doesn't dance. Worse than
Yes.
that, what, Insidious Purge Death Day year? Was that the one that people hated?
Yes, it
Killer
was
Kells,
so
what was your thought on it?
worst Halloween Horror Nights house I've ever been in my entire life, and I love that movie. It's a really fun movie. Horrible house, terrible house. Is it the worst house I've been in? Actually, probably. I never went in the Exorcist house, so I can't say that. But that's only a personal preference. I don't do vomit, so I did not go in that house. Let's see. No, I think that was it's definitely a Blumhouse house. The first two Blumhouse houses I went in were just absolute dog trash, so we're not.
Last year was good.
Oh, it was
I liked
wonderful.
last
My
year.
Yeah,
top
last year
three.
was great. Last year was, I don't remember, I know it was in my top 5, I think, but it was really, really good.
I like the Dead Man's Pier.
How do I feel about, oh, actually, okay, so the same year, see, I always say I know this, but I don't know what it's called. Adam's gonna know what year this was. The year they did the Scarecrow house,
18.
like a couple years ago.
It might be
19.
18. It's either
18.
18 or 16.
18.
What was that house called?
Yeah, I think Bella's right.
Scarecrow
The Reaping.
The Reaping.
It was
Yes.
18.
Which I still want a sequel to that, but whatever.
Let me double
Got one
check.
last year.
That year they had a Blumhouse house with Insidious, I think, right? Oh yeah, it did get a sequel last year. That's true. But
It
like,
was
I want, like, a
2017. Scarecrow the Reaping was 2017.
Okay, so 2017 then. Let me look. Okay, so in 2017 they had a Blumhouse that I actually did like, and I can't, but the only reason I really liked it, and I'm trying to figure out what the houses were, or what the movies were that were in that, and my Googling skills are very slow apparently. But
Insidious, The Purge, and Sinister.
okay, yes, thank you. Honestly, the Purge part was fine, and the Sinister part was also fine, but the Insidious part was really good. And I went through it, and there was nobody in front of or behind me. It was just me and my friend, and we like sprinted through it, and it was very scary. And like the black veil lady thing monster, I don't know, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, was horrifying.
Well, talking about all these rumors and stuff, like, are there any that you've, what are your last thoughts? What are your last thoughts?
I think that we are gonna, I know I talk about Scream coming to Horror Nights all the time. It's all I think about every day. Think about it once a day. But I honestly think we're getting to the point where it could happen very soon. I think within the next 3 years, it will be at Horror Nights. I'm speaking that out into the universe. Within 3 years, there's going to be a Scream house, and it's going to be based off the original. I feel it. And if it's not the original, it's 6. 6 is fine with me. But it'll happen within 3 years. I see it. And then maybe like it this year. It'll happen. I really believe deep down in my bones that we are going to get an It house this year. I feel it. And if they can get It rights, they can get Scream rights.
I have been dying for an It house just forever. So I really hope they do one. I have one final thought on the speculations, and that is give me Phantom or give me death. Please.
You're so real for that.
Give me death, please.
Please.
We demand it. If it's okay with you.
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, as always, speculation season's so fun. I mean, we're obviously fans of this event, and the speculation's half the fun. But what they are giving us, the morsels they're giving us, are definitely interesting to think about, and it gets me excited. Like, even this conversation that we had, you know, part of it's on Patreon, part of it is on here. It gets me very excited for what things could be, and even like our dream IP portion at the top of the show, like talking about Jaws and Don't Worry, Darling and Suspiria, and talking about all these different things. It's like, oh, they could do it that way, and just knowing how much effort and passion HHN puts into it, it's great. I just hope that they have like 2 or 3 shows to help supplement everything. Give us peace in the lines. Yeah.
Well, one new thing that we're going to start adding to the end of the shows I want to talk about really quick is what we're going to call a creator spotlight. And before we give you all of our information for socials and everything like that, we want to talk about a creator that one of the 3 of us or all of the 3 of us are really interested in, maybe a small creator that we want to showcase, and not anything that's sponsored. This is just something that we personally enjoy, and we're just sharing their name with you. So they won't even know about this, some of them, but just something cool that we want to share with you. So what I'm going to talk about today is It's Alive, under the name It's Alive FL_, FL meaning Florida. But basically, she is a horror artist. If I'm literally looking at my walls in my office here right now, and I have a ton of her art on my walls, but they make really cool stuff. Like their Wednesday print that they just came up with is amazing. They have a really neat Jason Voorhees painting that's like got a knife that looks like 3D the way it's painted, and it's like hand painted like that. Paintings and prints. There's lots of Scream, of course. We love Ghostface in this house. Pearl, Stranger Things, Rocky Horror, Universal Monsters, Jennifer's Body. I mean, Get Out, It. I mean, she is incredible. And Pan's Labyrinth, that's a really good one too. But just amazing prints. So definitely check them out. It's Alive FL_ on Instagram. And just go check out their Etsy shop. It's really neat. And I will definitely be sending the link to these 2, and we'll post that as well. I'll post on the Instagram and everything. So definitely check out their art. It is really cool stuff. And they have stickers and prints and paintings. And they have a really cool one that's the birdhouse it's a birdhouse of the house in not Hereditary, Midsummer. Thank you, brain. They do have a Hereditary print as well, but the Midsummer like house with the fire in the middle, but it's like a birdhouse. It's a very cool painting. Definitely, my words cannot do them justice. So go check out their art. It's beautiful on Etsy, on Instagram, and you will not be disappointed if you love horror in any capacity.
That's awesome. I definitely want to check that out. I know I've seen you share, and I follow them on Instagram as well because you've shared them a lot, and their art is very, very, very cool. So yeah, for sure, check them out. Buy some prints.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to look at it.
Yeah. Anyway, Where can we find us, Adam?
Well, you can find us on Instagram at Theme Park Workshop, on Twitter at Workshop TP. You can also follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/Theme Park Workshop, and on TikTok at Theme Park Workshop. Did I cover all of it? I think I did. Follow
I
us
think
on
so.
all the podcast apps. Answer that poll on Spotify. Answer the question too. Share us on YouTube. All of those wonderful things. And you can follow me on Twitter at AdamJ_film, on Instagram at Adam Johnson Love Stories. And I believe that's everything for me. Thank you for listening, y'all.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter at killer_Kells with an S, on Instagram at Kelly D. Hoffman. Don't forget the extra E in my first name. And you can also just say hi on any of your listening platforms. Go ahead and comment that you think I'm cool or something, and I'll be like, thank you.
Oh my god, love that. And then you can find me on Instagram at Flynn Riders Knows, or on Twitter at Bella Harvey with 2 Y's. And comment your favorite Harry Styles song on the next tweet or the next Instagram post, and I'll give you a little kiss.
Well, that's a sign of the times, and that time is we're out.
That was good. That was good.
See episode 32, y'all.
Bye.
And that's the only Harry song I know.